Welcome back, everyone, to episode number 3 of my chess series on tactics. If you don't know, in chess, tactics are a combination of forced moves which lead to winning of material. And today's episode is gonna be about the discovered attack. Before we get started, please like and subscribe. The button is just down below. It helps me a lot. And also, I left the link to my Twitch channel in the comments. But having said that, let's get started. So, if you remember correctly, last episode was about the pin. And as we discussed last time, a pin is a chain made up of three elements. There is the pinned piece, which is a piece that cannot move, otherwise, another piece gets taken. There is the victim piece, and there is the attacking piece. Now, the discover attack works in a very similar way. Look at this position, for example. In this position, there is a chain made up of three elements. That is, in this case, the attacking piece, which is the rook, the discoverer, which is the bishop, and the target, which is the queen. In fact, in this position, we can play the move bishop takes h7, and the king's gonna have to take or to move, and after it moves, we win the queen. Now, we can take out of this position the definition of the discover attack. Discover attack is when the discoverer moves making a threat, and my moving it makes a threat also by discovering another piece. In this example, the discoverer, which is the bishop, makes a threat, and by making that threat, it discovers the rook, which makes another threat. Now there are two threats, and black cannot respond to both of them at the same time. Now, in discovery attacks, there are two elements which you need to keep in mind. There is value of the pieces involved and protection of the pieces involved. In this case, we can play the move bishop takes h7 because, first of all, we attack with a check. And in chess, checks are the most forcing moves because black has to respond and then we win a queen. If this weren't a check, we wouldn't have been able to play this move. And the second thing, so this is about value, and the second thing is about protection. If, for example, in this move, in this position, which is a similar position to the position we just saw earlier, we played the move bishop takes h7. Now, this is not as good because even though we take the queen, we lose the rook because the queen is protected. And this is about protection. So you need to keep in mind these two essential elements of the discover attack, which is the protection of the pieces involved and the value. Now, in both of these cases, we just saw the discover moved with a check. However, this doesn't have to be the case every time. In fact, we can make a move that doesn't necessarily have to be a check, but makes a higher threat of the value of the attacking piece. Now, this position I showed you to explain about protection. In this case, I'm going to explain about value. Now, in this case, the move bishop takes h7 is not a very good move because even though we have a discovered attack on the d7 pawn, a bishop is worth more than two pawns. So this is not a good discovered attack. However, if this, for example, was a rook, now the move bishop takes h7 would have been a great move because we lose a bishop, but we gain a rook and a pawn, which is better than bishop. Now, as I said in the beginning, the target or the victim piece doesn't have to be a piece, but it can be both a piece and a square. For example, look at this position. We got a potential discovered attack because the bishop is lined up to the queen and the discoverer is the knight. But what is the target piece slash square? The target piece or square is the g7 square, because in this position we can play the move knight to f5. This move simultaneously attacks the g7 square with both the knight and the queen, and attacks the queen at the same time. So now black's gonna have to protect against main with a move like f6, and he's gonna lose the queen. And that is the discovered attack. Now I'm gonna show you 3 puzzles, and I'm gonna ask you to find the solution, putting all the things that I said together. For example, let's start with this position. Here, black has a winning move, and it involves 2 elements. There is an element of attraction, which I haven't talked about yet, and then there is the discovered attack. But anyway, the discovered attack is still the essential element of this position. Can you find the best move for black? Now I'm going to give you the solution. Pause the video if you like. The move is queen to d3 check. This is an attraction move, and the idea is that you bait the king into the line of fire of the rook. You bait the king into the line of fire of the rook, and now you have a discovered attack with the bishop. You're gonna play bishop takes c6 check. The king's gonna have to move. You don't have the move queen to d4 because it's protected twice. The king's gonna have to move, and now you're gonna win the queen. So now you lost the queen, but you won a bishop and the queen. Now moving on to puzzle number 2. Can you find the best move here for black? Now, this position is more complicated than what might appear at first sight. So, pause the video if you like, as always, and I'm gonna give you the solution right now. The solution to this problem is f takes g3, which is a check and a discovered attack. However, the discovered attack is not on the queen, because, for example, let's say white plays f takes g3. Now you cannot take the queen, because if you take the queen, white's gonna take your queen, and then you're just gonna have an equal game after this. So the discovered attack is not on the queen. In this position, if black plays f takes g3, you have to play queen takes d2, which is a check, and this shows that the discovered attack was not on the queen, but was on the bishop instead. So after this, you can take on d2, it's a check, well, and if white blocks with the rook, now you don't take the queen, you take the rook. This is an X-ray attack with the queen and the rook. If queen takes, you're gonna take with the rook, and you're just gonna have a rook and a piece. Now, if on the other hand, white doesn't play f takes g3, but plays queen takes g3, stepping out of fire. Now the move, you don't take the queen, you take the bishop. This is the whole point. So this was a position where you didn't have to focus on this, but rather on this. Now, moving on to the third and last puzzle of the day. Can you find the winning move here for black? Now, pause the video if you like, I'm gonna give you the solution. The solution to this problem is not d takes c4, because if you play d takes c4 thinking that queen h1 is made, then you're gonna face queen takes c4, which is a check, and you cannot play queen h1 checkmate. So the winning move here is rook h1 check. An unbelievable move, because after king takes, you're gonna take on c4, and you're gonna win a queen. Now, this is a very instructional, because whenever you have a two moves combination like this, you're gonna have to ask yourself, can I mess the move order of the moves? In this case, you see that this is mate, so you think, wait, this doesn't work because this is check, but can I go here first? And the answer to this is yes, you can go here first, because it's gonna lead to the winning of the queen. So, as always, to get better at tactics, you're gonna have to solve a lot of puzzles. And I hope this inspired you to train and to get better at chess. As always, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.